Hello, investors, and welcome to another 18 Minutes with 180 Markets. Friends, do you ever wonder how is it that magically all the products that you want wind up on the shelves at Kohl's, Woolworths, or whatever store it is? Or even better, all your packages just arrive to your doorstep? Well, the way it all happens is through this big industry that represents about 10% of GDP called logistics. That's right. It's the little, let's call it the grease that makes the whole engine run. And it's all the behind the scenes stuff that is so critical to our lives. But it's easier said than done. And not only that, the industry is changing a lot. That's right. People are getting more and more efficient. They're getting their costs under control. People want easiness. And that is why I'm thrilled today to be joined by Slipstream, a logistics software company with cutting edge technology, and its founder and managing director, Wade McDonough. And Wade is going to explain all about how Slipstream solves problems, especially for mid-tier carriers. And one more point before I get into the interview, which I'm excited to do, I just want to say one thing: we love bringing you viewers this type of special content and these types of special interviews that you won't find anywhere else. And that's why I ask you, do the drill that you know, like, subscribe, so we can get more interviews. That's right. And now back to the star of today. Wade, welcome to 18 Minutes with 180 Markets.
Hi, Greg. How are you? Thank you very much for having me.
Good. Hey, Wade, everybody's got a story. In just a couple of minutes, can you tell us how did you get to where you are today?
Yeah, certainly. Look, my background is in biomedical engineering. I studied at La Trobe University in Victoria. I was lucky enough at the end of that degree to take on an internship with a smart guy called Alan Finkel, who was our chief scientist within Australia. We had a company based in the US. So he packed up my bags and off I went. I worked with him for a year and then went on to consult at NASA. And then for the next 6 years after that, I formed a consulting group where we provided medical consultation services to about 32 companies over those 6 years. In 2005, I returned to Australia and founded what is now Slipstream. My goal was to identify businesses and industries that I could best apply my engineering practices and experience with to assist them in developing real-world solutions for their problems.
Got it. And just tell us about, because that was quite a while ago, about what did Slipstream actually do back then?
Well, what we did was we developed this web-based systems and processes automation tools for a range of businesses. We targeted industries and businesses that were in the most need of digital transformation. We were agnostic. We didn't have a preference. We were just looking for anyone that needed help or support. But what happened was along the way there, we had a growing number of clients that were focused in the transport and logistics sector.
Got it. And then maybe fast forward to COVID. What happened with Slipstream then?
Yeah, well, in that consolidation, around about 2021, we made the decision, and it was a timely one, to focus on that transport and logistics sector. So we consolidated all the learnings that we'd across the different business verticals into that consolidated platform, and we set out to develop the transport industry's most advanced management solution. And the intention there was also to disrupt the sector on how it currently operates in a largely archaic factor. But unfortunately for others, it was the issues that they were facing, especially during that pandemic, solidified our understandings and our beliefs, and opened the door for the opportunity for us to provide those types of services.
Great. Hey, wait, can we just back up for a second? Maybe just tell people a little bit about the Australian ground transportation logistics market, because I don't think that investors are probably quite as familiar as maybe they should be.
Yeah, good point. So look, the market consists of about 48,000 freight companies, individual companies, and amongst that, there are about 600,000 trucks. The market turns over about $30 billion per annum. And you can divide that market into about three carriers. So at the top end are the tier ones, which are the Tolls and the Linfox, which we're all familiar with. The tier two, which is our target market, or any business there that's got a firm from about, say, 25 to 500 trucks. And then after that, you've got your tier threes. There are small operators that have got the ones, the twos, and they largely act as point solutions or a carrier, a contractor within one of those larger organizations. But regardless of the size of those businesses, they're all facing similar types of challenges, and that's what our Slipstream platform aims to target.
Got it. So it's a highly fragmented industry is certainly the big takeaway with that. But you just ended there by saying that there are a lot of challenges within the industry currently here as we sit here in 2023. Can you just talk us through them a little bit? What are these carriers facing?
Yeah. So that probably break it down into a few categories, at least four, is that the increased operating costs. So just like all of us, their fuel costs are going up, the labor costs are going up, tolls are going up, and everything related to their fleet is increasing from a cost perspective.
Inflation.
The second one, yeah, inflation. So the whole financial world is against them. Regulatory requirements. More and more, the capabilities or the requirements from a government perspective or from the client's perspectives are forcing them to become more and more compliant. And this applies to the fleets, to the freight that they're carrying, and also down to the drivers that operate these vehicles. Customer expectations, the third category. There's growing expectations with regards to the speed of the service, the visibility, the tracking, the technology integration with regards to real-time planning, and being absolutely transparent across the operations and the reporting periods. So those customer demands are forcing them to do things that they didn't have to otherwise do before. And then to balance all that out, they're operating on an aging technology platforms and systems. They have a high dependency on paper-based, your carbon copy notes, or even across to Excel. There's inefficiencies all across the businesses and the systems that they're using. And historically, the investment for these guys wasn't within technology, it was in their property or their assets in their trucks or the fleet or the depots where they house these things. So that there's a requirement right now for these guys to move forward or to bring their business forward. They need to place that investment. And I think probably a prime example is that no size of business is unaffected. In the news just recently that Scott's Refrigerated Logistics,
Sure.
a large national carrier there, to Coles, to Aldi's, to the Woolworths, has succumbed to a business of that organisation there. Has shown that they don't have what it takes to go out and provide these services as they go into administration. So the reality of it is that these challenges faced by even the big guys just as prevalent as important to these mid to secondary carriers as well.
Yeah, and just adding on to that, you would think with that type of customer base, a Kohl's, a Woolworths, recurring, repeated income, how is it that they could possibly have these issues? But clearly, there are a lot of headwinds out there that people just don't know about.
Yeah, that's right. That's very very challenging environment.
Right. And, wait, maybe that's also a good spot to talk about technology. Technology has affected every industry for sure. But can you just tell us maybe how technology in the logistics industry, what do carriers currently do? How do they manage their fleets?
Yeah, so they've got four types of options available to them. The first one is an in-house solution. So what does that mean? That means that they've hired some technology resources or individuals, and they've developed the solution in-house. The benefit is it's very tailored to what their specific needs are, but the disadvantage is it's very expensive to maintain, and it doesn't allow them to adapt to the broader market requirements or integration needs. Second option is point solutions. So a point solution is something that addresses only a single part of their operations, and it may do it quite well, but it is not considering the total ecosystem or supply chain that also needs to integrate into part of those service areas. The third option, which is the ones that we're targeting specifically, these legacy systems. They were built about 20, 25 years ago that provide a valuable service at that point in time to help the digital transformation or away from paper-based processes. But they become hard to manage. They're no longer customizable, and the industry's signaled here that they're not looking to support those products going forward. And then the last
Yeah,
one is,
and sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
yeah, and the last one there is the global ERPs. So that these are, if you've got enough money and your organization is of sufficient size, that's where you go forward. So these are the Tolls and the Linfox who take on these large, multinational type solutions here. To support the high volume transactions and the operational requirements that they have. However, the downside to that is it becomes with high cost. It comes high cost not just through implementation and purchase, but also comes through high costs of maintenance, support, and upgrades and changes, modifications to their specific needs.
Got it. So obviously we have a very good understanding of the problem. Now, tell us how Slipstream is the solution.
Right. So our opportunity there is for us to focus on those mid-sized sector customers that we spoke about before here in Australia, who most likely have a combination of all those technologies and solutions that I had before. So from your point solutions into a legacy platform. And what we've identified is that they no longer have their needs are no longer met by that product and service there. So what we've done is we've developed an end-to-end platform solution which manages all aspects of the transport company's operational workflows. There's three aspects to it, and the first one is state-of-the-art technology. So we utilize the latest and greatest web technologies that contain high technology areas such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, which allows us to provide new tools such as predictive route planning and optimization. And the last part of that is we have seamless integrations. So we can connect our platform into a wider range of other existing platforms here to maintain that information workflow. There's things like accounting systems or track and trace. The second part of this solution we provide is a feature-rich system. It contains all the features that address all the business requirements, not just from a point solution, but across the entire operational area of the company. And the second part to that is that they're highly configurable, allowing the customer there to tailor the system towards their own specific needs. The last part of it is that we've developed it as a modular design. So that means the customer's got the ability to implement systems or modules or pieces of the platform that suits their particular immediate business need, and it can also evolve as the company does as well.
Got it. Hey, can I also ask you, just talking about, the feature-rich system, is it you have a lot of experience in logistics and also a thinking of an engineering type of background. Are are you consulting also with these customers about what is it that they really need? What is it really that's going to make their business better? And in fact, is that also a slipstream advantage in your opinion?
Yeah, it is. Look, it's not enough just to hand someone a software solution and say good luck and get on with it there. So
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, that's right. So the necessity there is that we're hands on. We're hands on in that we value our customers as much as the customers value us. We need to understand and grow with their operations and their changes and their needs over time. But also we have to help them on the journey as well. So we're very much hands on from the inception. That we want to understand who they are, why they are, what their specific needs are. Then we want to overlay our experience and technology and services on top of that to help them achieve their outcomes.
Right. And that's where you act as a real true partner. And from your point of view, what does that deliver to the actual customers? What is the value proposition for Slipstream?
The value proposition is that our sole focus here is to increase the operational efficiency, which is largely through the carrying capacity of that company. Additionally, we want to reduce their operational costs, which then leads ideally towards a greater on-time performance. And we want to maximize the visibility, not just within their internal departments, but also with their external-facing customers to create a better customer experience.
Right. So the value proposition, I suppose, is to say to a customer, do you want to save money with less effort?
It's a good way of summarizing it.
Absolutely. So Wade, we know that these are big decisions for companies, and even if they can sometimes recognize the opportunity, it's tough to get them over the line. Can you just talk a little bit about the sales cycle?
Yeah, certainly. So look, not unlike any other industry, there is a long sales cycle here, but it's a necessary cycle because there's a lot of things that need to happen, such as change management, both internally and external, to their business. So what we do in order to manage that is that we've developed our system to implement it in a modular approach. So this allows us to lower the costs and the risks that are presented to our customers, and also lower the barriers of entry as we approach new customers. It leads into another opportunity, which is a land and expand. So as we introduce one module into the system there, and as the customer builds comfort and experience with it, it allows us then to offer additional modules and expand our value proposition into the business. It also allows us to find this internal champion, and that's the person that's going to we're going to build a relationship that's going to help us support the business, not only just from the services and products there, but also into the future. The net benefit of all these things is that we end up with an extremely sticky customer,
Yes.
and that the typical value of them is 10 years plus. So each one of those activities leading from a long sales cycle into the modular approach and ends up with a better outcome.
Right. So in other words, you're de-risking it for the customer through this modular approach, but at the same time, you're going to enjoy the benefits of very sticky customer base.
That's absolutely correct.
Got it. And now, speaking of the customer base and us as potential investors, talk about the financial model. It's a SaaS business, but can you just discuss it a little bit?
Yeah, certainly. So we've developed a simple model, which, as you explained, is a SaaS model fee. So what we do is we just apply a single fee across all assets under management. Assets under management may mean the physical vehicle itself, or it might mean the specific sites that that transport company services. But what that does is it gives us a scalable type approach. So rather than saying one price fits all, and you're a larger, medium, or something small within that tier two there, it allows us to provide that scaling option either within a division of one of those customers or within the total sector there. So it allows us to grow as they grow.
Got it. Now, we've already touched on a little bit about the sales cycle and the revenue base. Uh, Internal champions, obviously, massively important influencer marketing, if you will. Uh, the best way, obviously, to get new businesses to get your customers talking about you. But even better than that, are having them become shareholders. Can you just talk to us a little bit about one of your large existing shareholders and how that came to be and how it's so good for Slipstream going forward?
Yeah, sure. Look, we were very fortunate that one of our customers that we're already providing service to, who's a large independent carrier, turned around about midway through the process there and then signaled to us that they would like to invest in our business. They had a strategic interest already in that they were steering or helping us guide with the products and services that we were delivering to them. But as a user of a platform, that they saw a great value opportunity to them in not only investing in us as an individual, but also the greater growth of the company. They'd done their due diligence. They knew what the platform was doing and how it was going to assist them. So they decided to invest to assist us in making this be the best product within the marketplace.
Got it. Hey, wait, Slipstream, it's obviously on a journey. We want to see where the business is going to be in 5 years, but maybe taking it a little bit of a shorter time frame. What would be your definition of success, let's just say over the next 12 months?
Ideally for us is that we can have the largest number of people from the industry trialing the product. That would be the greatest outcome here. Further to that, I mean, we want customers absolutely loving our product. We want them
Yes.
to become advocates because it's the best sales methodology or process within the industry is having people brag about the products and solutions they're using amongst their peers. And then I guess the outcome for that is we'd like to become the preferred platform that these logistic providers want to use within the industry.
Yeah, those sound like amazing goals, and I certainly understand that you'd love to have everybody talking about Slipstream. Speaking with slips of the customers talking about it, and I know you certainly can't reveal names, but can you just talk about the sales funnel? What kind of discussions you're having right now with various carriers?
Yeah, we're already in discussions with several carriers and looking to commence their rollout there. I think the interesting part is that we're getting interest from a wider range of sectors now. And two of those examples are commercial waste, and the other one is within the recycling industry. So this is good news for us in that there's other opportunities or a broader marketplace that we can address. We're also in early discussions with insurance providers on strategies on how the carriers can reduce their insurance premiums, which we all know is a great cost-saving activity for these guys.
Yeah, and nobody likes paying high insurance premiums for sure.
That's right.
Zach, hey, wait, we have to unfortunately keep these interviews short, but do you have any closing remarks for the audience? Are there a couple of points that you want every investor to know about Slipstream?
Yeah, sure. Look, the reality of it is a huge fragmented market that doesn't have the benefit of a fully integrated solution. The legacy systems are no longer able to support what the current demands are for this mid-size tier two operators, and the carriers and the customers are expecting more, and that our intention is to give that to them.
Got it. Hey, Wade, thank you so much. We really appreciate talking to you. It sounds like you have an incredibly underserved market in terms of they just don't have a solution, and that's where Slipstream comes into play, and especially not only the engineering background that you bring to them, but also the smarts around it, really to how to help their businesses in these challenging times for them. Wade, thank you so much. We look forward to talking to you again in a few months' time.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching another episode of 18 Minutes with 180 Markets. And don't forget, if you want access to thousands of capital raises, Sign up at 180markets.com.au and you'll get access to our very next capital raise. Thanks for watching.